Right, well I'm back for another week at the lovely Secret Garden. It's really nice to be back here. This is an absolutely fabulous venue, and actually my third time here. Now the nice thing is that I've had a trip in the spring, early in the spring, a trip in the summer, and this one is now October. So it'd be interesting to see how it pans out, you know, different times of year, different conditions. So yeah, it'd be nice to see what happens this time of year. It's still very warm actually. We've left sort of chilly, miserable conditions behind in England, and we've got temperatures up to 25 degrees here and mostly sunny. Bit of rain forecast later in the week, and I'm really looking forward to this because it is, you know, of its kind. It's one of the best venues out there. It's absolutely stunning, and there's some stunning carp out there as well. So hopefully we're going to see a few of those this week. Tired. We had a long old drive yesterday and arrived in the afternoon, and yeah, it's early morning, first day, but it's a good start anyway. We've had one. Lovely fish as well. Great big scale on his side. Always nice to get the first one. Apparently hasn't been fishing too well, it's been a bit slow, but this is a nice way to start. Just over £30, about £30.8. I see the needle go past 30, so that was good enough. Little scopex squid snowman, getting up towards the far end. I saw a couple show as we got here yesterday, up in amongst the pads, the old pads. There's not many left now, but I thought, you know, I sort of marked where I saw them show and put it there, and sure enough this is the one that's gone off. There we go. We've started anyway. Lovely to be back here. Do love it here, it's a great place. So yeah, we've made a nice start to the week. I don't think that's a fish. I think that's a deer in my line. Go on, clear off you.
Go on. Walk away. That the only boat it is.
Yeah. Right. I don't know what's going to happen here. This is a bit unusual. I've actually had a deer go through my line. It's being hunted. It's got tangled up in my line, so I don't know. I should think when I get nearer it's going to spook. These tangles, I've got to try and do something. Probably thinks I'm a hunter, so it ain't going to go well here. Yeah, some nasty looking horns there as well. I mean, it's bigger than what I thought. Hold on, sunshine. He's got it, must have it caught round his back leg somehow. Never mind, the dogs are gone, that's the main thing. Poor little thing. Just out for a Sunday stroll and someone trying to blow your head off. Right, it's obviously caught round your back leg, isn't it? Hold on. There we go. Didn't expect that when I heard the alarm go. Right, it was a quiet night last night. Well, I didn't have a fish, put it that way, but there was a couple of things that happened that have made me have a little rethink really. The first one was that I had a drop take. Basically I come out to a series of bleeps, and all that had happened, the indicator dropped back, and when I reeled it in, basically the lead had come off. Lead release system had worked, so a fish had obviously partially hooked itself or shook the rig and the lead had come off, but the end result was there was no fish on the end anyway. And 2 or 3 times during the night I had just a single bleep, and it normally takes a substantial sort of movement on the rod tip just to make it bleep, so I have an idea they were fish basically picking up the rigs and getting away with it. Now when I fished here before, I fished once in the spring and once in midsummer, and basically, you know, once I'd got on the fish, they were catchable. But now we're much later on in the year, it's the end of the season, and these fish have been pressured sort of week in and week out all through the year, and I have an idea that on a small water like this, they're just getting very clued up. They're feeding well, you know, the fish that have come out over the last few weeks, indeed the fish I've seen and had, they're in peak condition, so they're feeding well, but they're obviously getting a bit clued up. Now, what I've started off with and what's actually worked, this is my sort of go-to rig wherever I go. It's a standard Snowman, you know, it's quite a big one. I've got a 20mm bottom bait and a 15mm pop-up, and a size 4 hook, and like a hook length of about 1 foot long. You know, that's my standard sort of starting off rig anywhere. And indeed, you know, it's worked so far anyway, but it's not working as well as I thought it would. And I just feel that they're getting away with this, and I've noticed it before on waters I've fished that are very pressured, seeing rigs all the time. Quite often a double bait but isn't as effective as a single bait. Basically they pick that up, and it's a lot easier to pick it up and actually drop without getting hooked. So I've gone from that, and what I'm actually going to put out there now is still a very simple rig, but I've dropped right down in size. I've now got a 15mm bottom bait, dropped down slightly in hook size to a size 5 Fang Uni, shorter hook length, and I've also gone to an inline lead because I feel you can get away with a much shorter hook length on a inline lead, and there's less play. You know, basically I want as little play in that as possible. I'm not going mega short because there's still quite a lot of soft silt out there on the bottom. It's quite a silty sort of estate type lake, so I don't want it mega short, and I don't believe in silly mega short rigs anyway. So, but I've dropped it down to about 6 or 7 inches, like I say, a much smaller hook, and what I'm going to do, just so that it drops gently onto the bottom, I'm going to just prick a little mesh bag of pellet and a few broken boilies just onto the hook, just to sort of parachute it down slightly onto the silt. Yeah, and we'll see how that works. I reckon that should be more effective than the previous rig. You know, and I think if I sat here with the previous snowman out there, I'd still catch fish, but I don't think I'm fishing as effectively as I could do. I just feel that that's going to be actually a more effective method. Like I say, they're out there, and I know the fish are feeding, and yeah, if they're getting away with it, then, you know, the rigs, I'm not a riggy sort of person, and that's still a basic rig, but I just feel it's going to be more effective in this situation. But there's only one way to find out, and that's to get it out there and try, so that's what I'll do now. Hopefully it's going to solve a few little problems and get a few more fish, but we'll see. Like I say, we'll see. Tomorrow, you know, it might not have worked, I might be changing again, but that's plan B at the moment. Nice result of that morning battle. Not quite £30 this one, 29.5, but what a beautiful common. Absolutely gorgeous that is. This place is full of lovely fish, and in the past I've caught mainly mirrors. There's been a few commons, but there is some lovely commons in here. I know they certainly go into the 40s. Yeah, and if they look like this, they'll be absolutely lovely. But this is absolutely scale perfect, this one. Scale perfect, fin perfect. And yeah, it was lovely, lovely way to start the day anyway. Well, what a difference a few little things can make. You know, I spoke about changing over from the snowman to the little bottom baits, and well, the result was I've had 5 fish since then, and some absolute beauties as well. This is one of the smaller ones, but well, undoubtedly one of the prettier ones, the prettiest one actually. What a gorgeous fish, eh? 24 £24, and you won't see many better mirrors than that. Absolutely gorgeous, and they're so strong, these fish. They're really really healthy. They're all growing well, I know that. And well, I'll just show you the other side actually. The other side's just as nice. Maybe even better. Well, you decide. Yeah, because look at that, what an absolutely beautiful mirror. I know there is a few of these in the secret garden, and you know, we always want big ones, but I was hoping to see some of these actually, some of these pretty ones, so you know, that's what I was after, one of these. What a gorgeous fish. And the change of tactics worked. Lovely, clean looking fish this one. Just over 30 pound 8. But what an absolute cracker. And the nice thing really, since changing the setup, changing the approach, was that all rods went off. It was looking like I was only going to get takes on one rod that was fishing one down by the pads. And the first 2 nights that was the only one that was there was any occurrence on. And since changing over, like, all rods have gone off. By the dam, down by the pads, in the middle section. So yeah, it's obviously, it was the right thing to do, the right move. Whew, hopefully now I'll keep catching like this. And well, I've caught a few, caught a pretty one, so now the hope is to get a bigger one maybe. But yeah, I'm more than happy with what I've caught, so there we go. The spot I'm catching from is next to the biggest bush over there. There's a line of little bushes along the dam wall, and it looks like one big bush there. There's actually 2 together with a little gap in between. And yeah, I could cast over there, and I could cast onto the other bank and walk it round, but what's the point? Everyone else does it like this, so why not me? But the trick is now is that I'm very close to it, and now what I do, just lay the rod there and walk round to the spot and drop it from round here. A few bubbles coming up from down end right now actually, so creep in as gently as possible. I'm only using 1 hopper of bait on this one, it's the only one I'm doing that with. It doesn't seem to make much difference. And the idea is creep in about 3 or 4 foot from the bank, about there. There we go. afternoon. How about that for a scaly bad boy, as Ollie Davis calls him. But that is absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? What a fish. 26.5 pound, but makes it very special is getting fish like this. This is absolutely beautiful, and I'm really happy with this one. I might have seen it the other day over where I caught it from, I don't know, but I certainly see one a bit like this. But yeah, this fish like this make the trip very special. Might still get a bigger one, there's some out there, but you know, this is just absolutely lovely. One of the jewels of the lake, this one, and it is the reason we come here, for fish like this, and to have a good time of course, which we're having. But yeah, very happy with this one. Crayfish on the line as well. There we go. Got him. Well, that certainly woke me up anyway. I was in a deep sleep when that went off, but it's the first one I've actually had to go out in the boat for. Yeah, like I say, not as big as I thought. It was just over 27 and a half, and it's a long fish though. When I see it down in the water I thought, oh, that's a good one. Still a nice fish though, very pleased with that. That rod down by the pads, that's gone off every day actually, and it hadn't gone off this morning, so I was thinking perhaps you know, it's blown a little bit that spot, and hey presto, it's gone off now. Guys, a real stormy night last night. They forecast a bit of rain towards the middle end of the week, and we had the rumbles in the evening, and sure enough, Kai absolutely chucked it down. But it actually brought a couple of better fish along. Oh, along the damn wall again. This is the best one by far. Just short of 40 pound, 39 and a quarter. Oh, I think we're due more rain today and tonight, so maybe it's bringing the bigger ones on to feed. It seems that way anyway, so who knows, might be another big one or two to come. But yeah, very happy with this one anyway. I had 3 takes from sort of early morning onwards. One that fell off. It's the first loss I've had actually. When it was one down the far end, it got caught in the other line and just came off. But the other two are both good fish. You know, the 39 and this one was 34 and a half. Quite a pale fish this one, but really nice, lovely fish. Very lively as always. Yeah, certainly starting to get through to the better ones, so it's nice to see fish like this coming along. There we go. I'm going to get him back, so he's very lively. This morning I actually dropped one shorter on the damn wall, short of the pontoon there. It's the first time I've done it all week, but they have been showing. There we go. It was another lovely fish. In fact, we kept catching right through until the end of the trip with a procession of lovely mirrors and commons. It had been a really good session, and from a slow start the change of tactics certainly worked. And the good thing was that I was catching on all rods, whether it was down towards the shallows in the pads or up towards the deeper water on the dam wall. All rods were working, the tactics were working, and it was a really enjoyable trip. But of course, all too soon, the last morning came. Last morning, and one last fish, and a cracker too, 3312, lovely long common, and from the short rod on the dam wall again. I've heard a lot of fish jumping across the far side in the night, and I saw them fizzing there yesterday, and perhaps should have put a rod across there, but I didn't. But they've definitely been moving into the safe areas where there's no lines, as fish normally do. But I'm happy with this one. So there we go, it's been a great week. Whew, get this one back now and start getting the other rods in and start packing up. But a nice way to end this one. Lovely, lovely long common.